Watch list for Friday, October 28th. We do have some pretty solid setups going into tomorrow, so let's jump straight into it. To start off, we have Target. It does look good for a potential short. We keep seeing selling pressure on the daily at the top of this broadening formation. Currently an inside day shooter, and if you look at the smaller time frames, we went outside on the 1 hour and the 2 hour. Two down continuation on those, or a 1-2 down on the 4 hour can make for a solid scalp. I'd just be extra cautious just because retail has been ripping lately, so dips can potentially get bought up. I personally wouldn't take it long just because we have a broadening formation right above, and I'm not a fan of the risk to reward with a possible rejection. Team is also on watch, currently at 3-1 on the daily, and it has been in a bit of a consolidation, especially if you check out the weekly. It's a double inside week. But if you look at the smaller time frames and check out these trend lines, it definitely looks ready for a move in either direction. And tomorrow being Friday, the risk reward is definitely attention grabbing. Long side, I'll target 207 area first and then 214 area. And the short side, I'll target 192 and then 185 being my final target. Another name I'll be watching is Snow, just for a potential short. We did close below the 20 EMA. It also rejected the 0.5 fib extension, and it closed an inside day shooter. Below the 0.618 fib extension and a 2 down trigger on the day, it can take it to 164 area first, where it can potentially bounce before falling through this area of low liquidity. Snow also has an inside 2 hour that can trigger the 1-2 down. You can play both sides and use the 0.5 and the 0.382 on the day as targets for your long side. Another name is MRNA, and it currently has an inside bar and keeps rejecting the 0.618 fib retracement area. But if you zoom out, it's floated through this area in both directions, so it's definitely on watch tomorrow, specifically to the long side, only for me. It does have a 1-3-1 setup on the 4 hour, and looking at the volume shelf, it's not a name I'd short with the 0 DTE, just because there's too much traffic below, and 141 would be the target, so the risk reward isn't something that I like for a short. If the opportunity does present itself and I take it long, I would target 151 and 158 being my final target. MasterCard is another name I'll be having on watch with the break of either direction. It still hasn't touched this trend line on this recent run, and it currently has a 1-3-1 on the 4 hour. And it's making higher lows on the 2 hour here. You can see this trend line. If it breaks above, I'll target the top trend line, which is 329 area, and if it breaks below this trend line, we could see some selling pressure, and I'd be targeting 312 for my final target for a short. Last on watch would be General Motors, GM. It looks good in either direction. The weekly imbalance at 39.71 is the first thing that caught my eye, but also the rejection of the POC is something to keep in mind. It has a double inside on the 2 hour and a 1-3-1 setup on the 4 hour. The ATR on GM isn't high like all these other names, so I definitely buy directly at the money. And the top side, I'd be targeting 39.71 as my final target, and to the downside, I'll be trimming on the way to 37.32 area with 36.5 being my final target. But yeah, these are the tickers I'll be watching for Friday, October 28th. You guys have a good rest of your day, and let's be prepared for what tomorrow brings.